New bombshell revelations claim that Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, the former Duke of York, engaged in one of the most shocking episodes of royal misconduct ever alleged during a taxpayer-funded trip to Thailand. According to royal historian Andrew Loney, this wasn't diplomacy. It was indulgence on a royal scale. 40 women, a luxury hotel, and a week that, if true, may represent the single most disgraceful misuse of public money by any modern royal. And now, as the walls close in and the palace finally takes decisive action, one question remains. How did Andrew fall this far? And what's still being hidden behind those palace walls? Once celebrated as the Queen's favorite son, Andrew's reputation has imploded beyond repair. His royal duties have been stripped, his honors erased, and even the grandeur of Royal Lodge, his sprawling 30-room Windsor estate, now hangs in the balance. But according to historian Andrew Loney, the story goes back decades, to when Andrew was first appointed as the United Kingdom's trade envoy in 2001. He was 41, wealthy, privileged, and, in Loney's words, in the midst of a midlife crisis. Instead of dedicating himself to public service, the former prince allegedly saw his position as a passport to excess. The most startling allegations center around a trip to Thailand, where Andrew attended the birthday celebrations of the Thai king. This was an official visit, fully funded by British taxpayers. But as Loney told the Daily Mail's Deep Dive podcast, Andrew demanded to stay at a lavish 5-star hotel rather than the embassy. He added private time to his official schedule, 2 full weeks, a pattern he apparently followed on nearly every trip. And then came the shocking detail. Loney claims that during that brief stay, 40 women were paid to visit Andrew's hotel suite over just 4 days. Verified, he says, by multiple sources, including a Reuters correspondent and even a member of the Thai royal family. And now there's these allegations that he had prostitutes in at Buckingham Palace, and that his late mother did know about it. And these reports emerge from the author of the new book, entitled Andrew Loney, a British author and historian who I spoke to in detail. According to Loney, Andrew had no moral boundaries. His sense of entitlement was absolute. He reportedly used his trade envoy role not for Britain's benefit, but for his own pleasure and profit. While on government trips, he allegedly mixed business deals with personal pursuits, and all under the guise of official diplomacy. Charles, then the Prince of Wales, had apparently warned against giving Andrew the role in the first place. His reasoning? He'll just chase women and play golf. And as history seems to show, he wasn't wrong. What's perhaps most disturbing is that, according to Loney, Andrew's behavior was enabled by diplomats, aides, and royal staff who were too afraid or too loyal to intervene. He was known for his temper, his demands, and his absolute refusal to hear the word no. Those who worked under him during that period describe a man who saw public office as personal entitlement, one who blurred every line between public service and self-interest. And behind closed doors, he allegedly exploited every ounce of royal privilege that came with his title. But the scandal goes deeper than private excess. According to Loney, Andrew used his trade envoy position to advance the financial interests of himself and close associates. One businessman, David Rowland, reportedly benefited from Andrew's access, securing meetings and even a Middle Eastern banking license thanks to Andrew's interventions. Documents detailing these trips and dealings are still locked away in government archives. Teddy bears. He has like 40 teddy bears that have to be assembled and arranged perfectly. Staff are given a chart to arrange Prince Andrew's teddy bears on his bed every day. So there's quirky stuff, but there's also just stuff in there about how, especially in recent years since he's left the royal family, that he takes it out on staff because he is in isolation. He is in this sprawling property. Loney calls it a conspiracy of silence, files that should have been made public years ago but remain sealed. And the longer they stay hidden, the louder the questions grow. For years, the palace tried to contain the damage. There were quiet warnings, brief suspensions, and half-hearted attempts to keep Andrew out of the spotlight. But now, everything has changed. King Charles has taken decisive action, stripping Andrew of his final royal honors and formally notifying him to vacate Royal Lodge. The Thailand trip wasn't his only indulgence. During Andrew's 2010 taxpayer-funded trip to Hong Kong, staff watched a steady flow of paid escorts being brought directly to his hotel suite on the top floor. Although technically legal in Hong Kong, anything involving organized procurement is not, which makes the claims all the more explosive given Andrew's official role, the public nature of the visit, and the fact that British taxpayers were footing large parts of the bill. The court circular confirms Andrew's tightly packed schedule of business meetings, bank visits, and high society dinners across Hong Kong and mainland China in the weeks before and after the alleged incident. Yet, behind the scenes, according to aides interviewed for documentaries and books, his private behavior was an open secret. What makes these accusations even more damaging is the broader pattern they sit within. Former staffers have long described a revolving door of women visiting his rooms on overseas trips, and Loney paints a picture of a man driven by compulsive sexual habits rather than diplomatic focus. The financial side only adds to the scrutiny. Investigators estimate that Andrew's flights and accommodation during his decade representing the UK abroad cost roughly £4 million, with some individual trips topping £90,000 in travel alone. Set against that backdrop, claims of questionable relationships with well-connected figures in China paint a deeply troubling portrait of a senior royal treating official overseas missions as personal playgrounds, with the public left picking up the tab. So what now? Sources close to the palace say Andrew is clinging to what little he has left. Still defiant, still refusing to accept that the monarchy has moved on without him. He reportedly spends his days secluded, isolated, and increasingly detached from reality. One source said he has been holed up in Royal Lodge, playing video games all day. Friends say he's bitter, blaming everyone else for his downfall. But with the king's patience exhausted, Andrew's days of protection are over. There will be no quiet deals, no more cover-ups, no more special treatment. A man whose arrogance and entitlement finally consumed him. And yet, the most chilling part of this story isn't the scandal itself. It's the silence. Because according to Loney, this didn't happen in isolation. It was part of a wider culture of indulgence, secrecy, and unchecked privilege that no one dared question. There may be more bombshells to drop in the near future. If the monarchy wants to survive this era, it must prove that even its most privileged members are not above accountability. Andrew's story is no longer about royal romance, public service, or ceremonial duty. It's about a man who believed the rules didn't apply to him, and a system that let him believe it for far too long. He once represented Britain on the world stage. Now he represents everything the monarchy must leave behind if it's to have any future.